Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Lincoln Pokemon League week number 4. We are here, we are back, we are excited to be playing some Pokemon Little Cup. It's going to be a great time. And so, today we have some very special things for you, but first of all, we're at the halfway point of the Lincoln Pokemon League. We are here in week 4. Oh my, oh my. We are in week 4 of the Lincoln Pokemon League, and that means the trades are active. All the trades are officially active, which means I'm going to go into the trade slide again to let you know one more time what happened last week during Graveyard Week. So, here we go. So, as you can see, the slides coming around. Right now, we had the Leap and Lokix doing a double trade. We had the revved up Reverooms doing a single one as well. The Clueless Clodsires taking Azrael and Gibble out for Spoink and Venonat. Tinkaton home runs taking out Tinkatink for the Meowth, and I liked this trade a lot. I said last week, Meowth has been putting in a little bit of work in the Lincoln Pokemon League recently. Especially that Galarian Meowth. Revved up Reverooms with a double trade. One of them being Happiny into the Wiglet. And then the Kilowattrel Shockwaves do a single, that Arrokuda for the Skidoo. But that being said, we have a very, very special set for you today, in the fact that we're going to be doing a live, completely live set of the Lincoln Pokemon League. Oh my, a live set of the Lincoln Pokemon League. It's gonna be a great time with the Salty Garganacles and the Kingambit Shogunates. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's gonna be a great time. There's loads of great esports events on today. You could be watching the Tekken 7 Nations Cup. You could be watching the LACS. But you're here today in this stream chat to watch the Lincoln Pokemon League Season 2, to watch some amazing trainers play some Little Cup. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. I am completely ready. So I'm ready to get it going. Yeah, Flesh Trim. I had to bring out the Flesh Trim for the Lincoln Pokemon League for the halfway point, you know? For the halfway point. It's a special day. Flesh Trim. You gotta be doing it. So I am completely ready to go ahead and see this live game happen in real time. It's going to be a different sort of cast for this one. Obviously, we have to wait for the trainers to make their moves in real time so we can actually gauge how long these two trainers are taking to select what moves they want to take. So, going to be a really good time, I think. But we're just about to head into this game right now. We're about to head into this game of the Salty Garganacles versus the Kingambit Shogunates. Hopefully relatively soon. It will be a good one, I can guarantee that. We can go over the scores just a little bit. I'm sure you already saw them. But the Clueless Clodsires are the only undefeated team in this league. Coming in. So, gonna be a very, very interesting to see if they maintain that. The Tinkaton home runs and the Kingambit Shogunate still yet to score, I think, in terms of a full set win. So, going to be very, very exciting here. We are just setting up. Yeah, look, I think we are about ready to maybe get into it. But yeah, this is going to be a different sort of cast for this one. So we'll see what happens with this one. But apart from this very special live game that is, getting us at the halfway point of the Lincoln Pokemon League, we still have 3 more sets to play after that one. So do stick around. That's not the only special event we have today. We have some amazing sets with some amazing trainers and some amazing teams. And this week we actually get to see how the trades are going to affect the teams, or how the trades are going to affect Graveyard Week. The trades from Graveyard Week are going to affect this week, I should say. So it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm sure a lot of you are interested to see that as well. As always, we can look on, if you are part of the Lincoln Pokemon League Discord, which you should join if you want to see any upcoming sets for the weeks, or just have a little sneak peek at some of the trades before they get announced on stream here today. You will also be able to see... Ooh, wait, I think we can get into this game. Let me see. I think we are in the game. There we go. Let me hide that. Okay, I'm gonna need to, like... I am in there. I think I'm ready, yeah. I think I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. That looks a little bit better. I think that's good. Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Live game of the Lincoln Pokemon League here. Exciting times. I'm completely ready. Let's get it started. Waiting for players. And as we're waiting, you can see the teams that they brought in the chat there. Just a quick ready in the chat. I will be ready to go. Let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet, or if I'm too loud or too quiet. Feel free to. But here we go. We're starting off the first set of the Lincoln Pokemon League here. Some good lucks in the chat. And we are off. Lincoln Pokemon League Week 4 has started. So, just gonna have a think about this first move. It can always be a tester. Let's see here. It's going to be a switch into the Fuecoco, and the Swords Dance going to be used, and I think that's a good play there from the Salty Garganacles. Just utilizing the switch to get that buff, that double attack. There's the knockoff. Flame Charge doing 65%. And also the speed rises, so maybe going first this time around. Let's have a look-see at what these trainers are going to do next. Be a switch into the Charmander. The Outrage going to connect for just over half the health bar. And the Ancient Power going to come through to pick up the first KO of this set. have the Shellos coming through. Obviously a correct switch in against this Charmander here, but the Salties might be looking to switch in and do with the Snover. The Yawn Drowsy onto the Snover. And the snow is falling, and this is the first turn of it. So let's see what the Gold Garganacles are going to do with this drowsy Snover here. Yeah, going to be a switch out. And it's the Terrestrialization into the Grass type. Critical hits! 85% of the health bar has gone down after that Grass Terrestrialization. That's some good type coverage there from the Shogunate. Got to think it's going to be a switch from the Garganacles here. And I think this Terrestrialized Shellos is staying in. Yes, switch into the Snover. Good read. And the Blizzard coming through. Snow still falling here. And this Terrestrialized Shellos hasn't lost a single percentage point of health here. These trainers thinking. The Yawner again onto the Snover, but that's a super effective Blizzard. Yeah, Volt Blizzard just in case of the Snover. That's a good observation in the chat there. Heading into turn 9 now. And you can see how different this is from some of our pre-recorded games. Obviously, you can really see the time taken by each player to, you know, think about what moves they want to use, if they want to switch in. All of these options, all of this coverage has to come into these decision-making processes here. It's going to be the Charmander coming back out this time. And the Overheat going to connect. And the Earthquake going to pick up a knockout and make it a 1-for-1 on the knockout chart there. Let's see what happens next. We all know that the Garganacles have that Riolu in the back, was putting in work last week and has been putting in work every week, to be fair, so be sure to watch out for that Riolu in the back there. Hasn't been seen yet, but will come out at some point as probably the sweeper. But for now, this Toedscool is coming out. Going to be terrestrialized into the water type. And that Ice Shot is not going to be very effective. And the knockoff going to do a really nice substantial amount there. about a fifth of the health bar. So let's see what happens here. The ice shard, it's still not effective. I think he was trying to think about catching a switch in there, or I'm not sure. But that is a KO picked up for the Salty Garganacles. And this Cacnea coming out, I'm very excited to see this little one here. Be a switch into the snow button, the snow warning activates. Gotta be setting up that weather. We've seen the weather not be as paramount in Little Cup as you would see in other formats really, but it's still very useful in situations. Not a lot of players in this league that would base their team around weather conditions. Going to bring out the protect, and it's going to be the trick, but it's protected. And now the toxic just chipping away. Shogunate really having to think about this, because I think quite a few of their Pokemon are hurt. And that's the Shroodle coming in. Yeah, it is a Toxicor here. And the chat asking what is being cooked here. I can say I don't know myself. As I haven't talked to the Shogunate trainer before they decided to pick this one out, but this this Pokemon here is really getting low on the health bar. The light screen is set up though. The knockoff going to pick up the KO. The KO picking up the KO there. Now it's going to be a switch into the Cacnea. And that's a really nice sucker punch. To pick up the second. But it still looks like the Salty Garganacles are at the advantage in this game one of this set here. Blizzard are going to be super effective, deal about 50% of the health bar, or at least half of it. The attack's going to come out, Sucker Punch, fails. The light screen wears off, and that snow's still falling here. Got to wonder if it's going to be a risk to keep the Pokemon in here. Yeah, and here's the Riolu I was about to say. The Sucker Punch fails again twice in a row. And now this Riolu, like I said, this sweeper Riolu. One of my favourite Pokemon in the Lincoln Pokemon League Season 2. Swords Dance is set up and it's looking scary for the Shogunate. Let's see what this Drifloon can do. I know that sometimes it hasn't been putting in as much, or hasn't been getting as much value as you would expect it to. Zen Headbutt. Going to take off a substantial amount of the health bar there, but this Riolu is burned after the Will-O-Wisp. So let's see what happens here. Turn 25 and it's Copycat off the Zen Headbutt, but there's the flinch. Yep, there it is. And now the Shogunate in a tough position. I'm pretty sure both of these mons are hurt. Yeah, there's that Terrestrialized Shellos. 29% there. Oh, it does not kill the Earth Power, but it's looking very bleak for the Shogunate. And the Garganacles look poised to pick up this game one. Hopefully, this isn't a commentator curse, but it's looking pretty well defined at this point. Yeah, Zen Headbutt again. Just gotta keep doing it. But the Giga Drain gonna pick up the KO on the Riolu. But here comes the Snow Warning Snova. And the Ice Shard gonna pick up game one for the Garganacles. There we go. Put that on the scoreboard. Right, we're going to be heading into game two pretty soon. Give me 2 seconds to try and set that up. Yeah, don't try and put the links in chat. Put them in the Discord. Oh, we got a dab on stream. There we go. Sorted that. So, we'll be getting into this game too with maximum efficiency then. There we go. We are in there. And I don't think there were any subs done. No, doesn't look like it. Same teams going into this game here. I am completely ready to go. If the players and the trainers are ready to go. Let's see if this one will be a 2-0. Or if it will be evened up between these two players here. Oh, I haven't got music apparently. I will set that up in just a second. I'll just put on some other music for now. There we go. While that's happening, because the game is going on, of course. Going to be that terrestrialization, and it's an Oko to start it off. Here comes the Cacnea. Big Oko to start things off here. Dark Pulse isn't going to do as much as maybe you'd want it to. And a switch into the Riolu. Both teams there, both trainers switched on turn 3. It's going to be the terrestrialization into the ground type and an earthquake to boot. Be a solid chunk there. Might be a switch out from the Garganacles here, but seems like the Shogunate have taken a different approach to this one already. Especially after losing their first Pokemon with that Oko. Going to be the close combat with another Oko. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm sure if you check the stats, that Riolu has had the most Okos in this league. Like, my goodness. And the Drifloon coming in. But man, this Riolu is like the Repo Reaper, dude. Except its job is picking up KOs. That's what its job is. It's like the Repo Reaper, but instead of like trying to repo cars, he's picking up KOs. That's what this Riolu is doing. But the Drifloon takes it out, stops the reign of that Riolu for now. After going fast on that turn. And now it's the Shroodle. Going to be another Oko! Is that 3 Okos from the Garganacles? 3 Okos with 3 different Pokemon, I think? What is going on? My goodness gracious me. The damage output of this Garganacl squad. The Focus Sash saves it. Oh my. And we know the Shroodle can go first against the Shellos. So let's see. Yeah, the Shroodle U-turns. That's a good play there. Get that little bit of damage in and switch out into a more healthy Pokemon. I do like this idea. I think picking which Pokemon to go into now are the Garganacles. The Earth Power coming out, it's not too effective. That was a good switch in there, I think. And the knockoff coming through here. Sorry there, chat, was just playing with the sound. As my OBS was saying, the music was a bit too loud there. That was the opportunity to switch it, but back to the game anyway. The earth power, just not enough. The Nuzzle does paralyze there. Light screen is set up, and the Giga Drain going to pick up the 4th KO for the Garganacles. And again, it's not looking good for the Shogunate. The Cacnea has to come out. And the Shogunate still might not get their point on the board that they so desperately want. After 4 weeks of play. My goodness. But you can see now the difference from our pre-recorded games to this live one that's happening, and that's a great protect, by the way. But you can see how long on average that these trainers take to think of their moves. So when we're watching them one after the other, they could be taking a minute, 2 minutes to think of these moves. Strudel's coming out, going to use the Giga Drain, and that's a pickup. Snova coming in on just under half health here. The Protect going to come out, good block on the Dark Pulse. And the light screen wears off as well. These guys are vibing to the music right now. But the Sucker Punch, not going to do as much as you want it to do, but that Blizzard going to be super effective and put the Cacnea on 5%. Yeah, the Ice Shard. Oh no. Yeah, the Shellos coming in on just under half health as well, and I think it's Jova. Oh no. Yeah, resists the Earth Power. Giga Drain. Game over. That is the set. The Salty Garganacles. Take it. GG's in the chat. Absolutely brilliant stuff from both these players. And wasn't that interesting to see a live game between two trainers there? You can see the difference in how long they took to think in comparison to our pre-recorded games. But for now, we'll be getting into our second set of the day. Let me see which one it is. That's the wrong thing. Rightio, let's see. It's going to be our next game, the Revved Up Revvarooms versus the Clueless Clodsires. So let me set that up for you now. And you can see in chat, or on the screen now, what teams they have brought to this game here. Yeah, thanks to Riolu, continues to be insanely strong. And as I said, and I keep saying, it's one of my favorite Pokemon in the Lincoln Pokemon League. But for now, we're going to have the revved up Revereems versus the clueless Clodsires. There we go. What a well-played set. Yeah, the Cacnea are really impressed. That Sucker Punch was putting in work there. But with that said, let's see what happens in this game. Let's get into it with maximum efficiency. It is the revved up Reverooms versus the clueless Clodsires. GLHF's in the chat and we are off. Taunt coming out from the Rockruff. The spin out. Going to proc the Focus Sash here. And the spin out again. Going to pick up the first KO of the game. Quaxley. Surf gets resisted. Into the Paldean Weeper. Just chipping away at each other now. Setting up the spikes. Whoop time, it's whoop whoop. Here comes Rowlet this time around. And surprisingly, we are actually seeing one of the Pokemon getting traded from Graveyard Week getting use in this Venonat here. You can see this Venonat is part of the squad on its debut week. So, let's see what it can do. Power Gem just stays alive, but it won't double up on that. Scorbunny coming through. The type chains to flying, utilizing the Libero. And a Wiglet, yes, completely correct. The acrobatics does kill that time. Double. The Boom Burst going to pick up the KO, and it's an even game at 2 KOs apiece. Switch into the Wiglet, and there it is. Here comes the Rowlet. Final Gambit! That is a Final Gambit Wiglet, everybody! Be ready! Oh my! When that Wiglet came out, I'm not sure what I expected, but I don't think it was Final Gambit. The Earthquake gonna pick up the KO. Here comes the trick. The Will-O-Wisp is going to burn. The Weeper with a critical hit. The Weeper sweep. But the Hex gonna critical hit back to pick up the KO. Surf. Oh my. The switch into the Venonat. Here's the debut. First of all, tanking the Trailblaze. The Terrestrialization into the ground type. Gonna pick up a lot more damage there. The Paralyzer into the bug type Terra type. So we can see what Terra type the Venonat has now. And that's gonna be game number 1. My goodness. That's going to be game number 1 for the Clodsires. Let me update those scores for you. There we go. And we'll get into game 2 with maximum efficiency. It was said, a team 2 on the backup, 2 switches. So let's see what they are. Okay. Yeah, Whooper Wednesday fans are eating good. But let's get into this game number 2. And it was also said in the chat about set number 1, if that Cacnea had Poison Jab over Dark Pulse, it had a real shot. That's really interesting, but big damage coming out to start things off here. The Liquidation doing a ton of damage, and the Protect coming out. Beautifully done. Switch into the Paldean Whooper, switch into the Fungus. And here comes that Venonat. Is it Whooper Wednesday or Wiglet Wednesday? We'll find out with this set, I'm pretty sure. Fight for the Wednesday. The Earthquake are gonna pick that one up. And we saw the Hex do a lot last time, and it's doing a lot this time. And now the Terrestrialization into the normal type. Surf going to be resisted by that Quaxley. That was a great switch there. Terrestrialization into the normal type. Both trainers using the Terrestrialization on normal types there. Here comes the substitute fade. And another substitute fade. Great minds think alike is what they say. These are certainly some great minds with these trainers at the minute. Thief. Through here. Stealing the safety goals. Oh no. Just a bit of a talk in the chat there. I figured a reading parting shot, not a misplay per se, said in the chat there, so you can see some of the thought process going on from some of these trainers here. But the Whooper is down. It's the teammates fighting for who gets the Wednesday alliteration. The Fingers switching now. Brave Bird. Into the substitute as well, so there's a big boost. There's the full 50%. Critical hit kills! Crit might have mattered, and I think it did. And it said so in the chat as well. Knockoff. Someone drop a calc on that. The Boom Burst gonna pick up the KO with a crit. Okay, the switch into the Glimmet. The Sludge Wave going to pick it up, and that's going to be a 2-0. But you can see in the chat, you made me stop and think several times. Well done outplaying the Water Absorb. Should have ran Brave Bird. Rowlet tanked because you didn't. Could have been a 2-hit KO. Hindsight is 20/20, and looking forward to the rematch. GG's. And that is very exciting stuff. Big 2-0 from the Clodsires there. And I think that means the Clodsires are still undefeated. The crit didn't matter. Did you calc that? Wow, okay. It looked like that mattered to me. But as you can tell, I'm the one wearing glasses, so. Oh, the beam burst. Yeah, the beam burst didn't matter. The other one. The other crit. I know the beam burst didn't matter. I think the other one mattered. But we're going to go into the next game right now. Let me have a look, see at what we've got here. The Clodsires still undefeated, by the way. My goodness. There we go. Okay, next up, we're going to have the Dunsparce Stunts Caps versus the Leapin' Low Kicks. My goodness. Okay. You can see the calc in the chat there. So let's go into the in-game slide so you can see what is happening over here. Now see the, there you go. Let me just cheekily move that to the side. There you go. So you can see that beautiful little logo there. They are going up against the Leapin' Low Kicks. Grimace is back. Let's see if the Grimace Shake comes through. There we go. And with that said, let's get into this set with the maximum efficiency as always. You know how we like doing things over here at the Lincoln Pokemon League. And here we go. The Leapin' Low Kicks versus the Dunsparce Stunts Caps. GLHF. The Drain Punch after the Reflect. Parting Shot. Going to get the switch in to the shiny Teddiursa. Teddiursa, sorry. I don't know why I said Teddiursa. My goodness, I can't speak today. I think I'm just so excited. But the Oko on the crunch. And the Facade with another Oko. My goodness. This bear is going ham. That's 3 KOs. Oh my. 21 speed, quick feet, Teddiursa. My goodness. Put the terrestrialization into the steel type. Draco Meteor picks up the kill there. And the Ice Shard are going to take will bite back. My goodness. There we go. The Shell Smash. Terrestrialization into the Rock type. Oh, and it does kill that Rock Blast. After the 4th hit. The Rock Blast again going to pick up the kill. And that's going to be game 1 for the Dunce Caps. With half their team still on the board. One rock did the trick. We're going to be going into game 2. That game only took 17 turns, so let's see. Yeah, 4 more were coming, but the Draco Meteor misses. Oh my. Fox coming through. That's going to be the first KO picked up for the Dunce Caps. Into the Wingull. The knockoff comes through, wants to steal your chips, but the Ancient Power says no! I paid for these! The light screen gets set up there. The passing shot. Let's see where it's going to go into the shoulder. Resists the eruption here. And here comes the fast bush. Here comes the Bramblin. Shell Smash set up. The Rock Blast misses. Power Whip is super effective. Mini pop off for the payback there in the chat. As it scrolls by. You can see the protection set up on the side of the Dunce Caps. And remember this Mudbray. Oh my. This Mudbray is an absolute menace. As it is this Teddiursa. This fast bush. Strengths up again. Here comes the Swords Dance. Oh my. Oh no. Power Whip. Yeah, that's going to be an Oko. After all the buffs. Here comes the Phanpy. Going to take it out. Only gets 1 on the board. Yeah, clever answer to Mudbray, said in the chat. Lowering gets attacked constantly without proccing the ability. That is very good play. Night Slash coming through. Flamethrower. Night Slash going to pick up the KO. The Flamethrower is unfortunate that didn't kill there. The Earthquake going to pick up, and now it's 2 Pokemon left on both sides. This Mudbray. Yeah, it was really good to stall out the Reflect there. Some good observations from the chat. And some of the trainers in the league as well. Here we go. Into the Flying type. That's a great terrestrialization as it avoids the Earthquake. But Grimace needs to do something here. That's the Rock Slide critical hit. It doesn't kill. But I don't think it matters. Yeah, the heavy slam. Gonna pick it up. The GGs. My goodness. You can see in the chat what they're saying. The horse takes another one. Wowee. Can you believe that, chat? What fun that was. And now we have our last set for week 4. The horse is A tier, yes. And we will be going into our final set of today, the final set of week 4 here. With the revved up, we've already done revved up Reverooms. With the Tinkaton Home Runs versus the Kilowattful Shockwaves. Apologies about that. I messed up. But yes, it is the Tinkaton Home Runs versus the Kilowattful Shockwaves in the final set of today. So let's get into that in-game slide so you can see what the teams are here. They are obviously up against the Kilowattful Shockwaves. Oh, whoops. Apologies. My bad, chat. You saw nothing. Why is that happening? Oh my goodness. Just stop. Let me try and sort this properly. Apologies for this, chat. That's a bit better there. Let's get that logo up for you so you can rep your team. There we go. So here we go with our last set of today. The Kilowattful Shockwaves versus the Tinkaton Home Runs. And we are off. Fun and games imminent, apparently. Going to resist it with the Floki. The Shroomish switches in. Floki's type changes to Ice off of the Ice Beam here. Proc the ability. The U-turn, going to switch in, and here comes the Growlithe. Good protect there. Ooh, the recoil, the Flare Blitz. The what you heard. Okay, let's see. Apparently there's supposed to be an interesting interaction coming up. The Skidoo was really big. A really big switch. I said I liked this switch before in the Graveyard Week. So let's see what the Skidoo can do. Bars. The Heavy Slam coming through. Sludge Bomb gonna pick up the KO. And now into the Psyduck. James Bond. Okay. Okay, the Drain Punch picks it up for an Oko there. Another Drain Punch gonna pick up another KO. And another KO for the Drain Punch. Drain Punch sweep. And that's gonna be the Tinkaton home runs picking up game number 1 there. Good stuff from them. And we're going into game number 2 now. With maximum efficiency. Skidoo coming through. Wild Charge. Comes the Floki. Flare Blitz does take it out, even though it was a correct switch in, I think. The Sucker Punch. Drain Punch versus Sucker Punch? No, but here comes the Voltorb. The Paralyze, but it does not matter. Nasty Plot. But that time it does. And a second Nasty Plot. But the Earthquake takes it out before it can utilize those buffs there. And the Fairy type Skidoo. Poison Jab gonna take it out. Poison Jab. Switch into the Bronzor. Here comes the Body Press, that's big. I shouldn't have said that's big. I was talking about the Earthquake and I got my sentences mixed up there. Yeah, a little bit greedy there. Yeah, and it looks like a Tinkaton home run victory at this point. Looks like it's all said and done. I do like the Zorua though. Oh, the crits off the U-turn. Oh! Sucker Punch! Oh no! Sucker Punch right back! Oh no! The Sucker Punch fails! Oh no! Oh! What a tough break! The comeback was on! And if the Sucker Punch connects, the second Sucker Punch fails if the opponent uses Sucker Punch first. This move enables the user to attack first. This move fails. The target is not readying an attack. It fails against any priority move used by a faster user. Oh my, what a tough break. because the comeback was there. But the Tinkerton home runs pick up a 2-0, and we've had a sweeper week. Yeah, it's so niche you'd barely know what happens, but it did happen, and that's one of the things we love about the Lincoln Pokemon League. That's one of the things we love about Little Cup. You get to see these infractions happen. We have the most exciting, interesting infractions here, and that's why we love this league. This is why you should invite your friends over to watch this league. Get involved with this league. Because you can see stuff like that happening. My goodness, what fun we had today. A sweeper week full of 2-0s. 2-0s every single set this time around for the Lincoln Pokemon League. As always, thank you to Poker Prince, the trainer of the Kingambit Shogunate, for allowing me to be your commentator and host and stream manager for the Lincoln Pokemon League Season 2. Be sure to be back next week at 6:30 for week number 5 of the Lincoln Pokemon League. If you would like to see more Lincoln Pokemon League in the meantime, be sure to join the Discord, and you can see updated trades before they happen. You can see the schedule of the week before it gets shown on stream. So you can see a lot of little pieces before the stream even happens. So if you're really interested in this league, go and join that Discord. If you want to see more of me, it's at Jacobian Pereira on Twitter. If you would like to follow me, as always, I give updates for whenever these Lincoln Pokemon streams are happening. But for now, they're always happening at Sunday at 6:30. Thank you guys so much for coming up for week 4. I will see you in week 5. See you next time, guys. Cheerio.